Well, hello Quave Global, here we go today. Could this really be the end of an era? When the news broke that Kim Taehyung, known globally as V of BTS, might be stepping away for a long time, the internet erupted in disbelief, confusion, and heartbreak. Millions of armies around the world flooded social media with one question that echoed like a thunderclap across fandom spaces. Why is Taehyung leaving? And for how long? What made the speculation spiral even further was Hybe's cryptic statement, one that seemed to hide more than it revealed, and Jungkook's visible emotional response that sent shockwaves through fans. What was really happening behind the calm facade of the world's biggest group? Was this just a creative hiatus or something far deeper and more irreversible? For weeks, silence had surrounded Taehyung's activities. Fans noticed subtle absences, canceled appearances, postponed collaborations, and an eerie quiet from someone known for his artistic energy. Then, out of nowhere, a press leak hinted that Taehyung might be preparing for a long-term project overseas that could keep him away for years. The ambiguity was enough to spark chaos across online communities. When Hybe finally addressed it, their response didn't soothe anyone. It only deepened the mystery. Hybe's spokesperson, in a brief but emotionally charged statement, confirmed that Taehyung was preparing for a significant chapter in his career that would require an extended absence. They refused to elaborate further, citing privacy and creative integrity. To the public, it sounded like a farewell disguised as professionalism. To armies, it sounded like heartbreak. And to Jungkook, whose close bond with Taehyung has been the soul of countless BTS memories, it felt like a loss too heavy to put into words. Rumors swirled that Jungkook had broken down during a private conversation with staff after learning the details of Taehyung's plan. Insiders spoke of an emotional moment where the usually composed Jungkook simply couldn't hold back his tears, whispering words that were never meant for the public. "I didn't think it would be this soon." Those words, once leaked, set social media ablaze. What did he mean by this soon? Was there something Hybe wasn't telling fans? Behind the glamour of BTS's global dominance lies a quiet human truth. 7 individuals who grew up together, fought battles together, and now are standing on different roads. For Taehyung, who has always been deeply introspective and artistically restless, the idea of a long project isn't surprising. He's always spoken about wanting to explore beyond music, into art, film, and personal creation. But the timing of it, especially after the recent collective silence among BTS members, feels almost prophetic. It's as if something larger is unfolding, a transformation not just for him, but for the group's identity itself. In Seoul, where Hybe's headquarters have turned into a magnet for reporters and curious fans, whispers of Taehyung's departure have become the dominant conversation. The company's executives, known for their careful words, appear to be walking a tightrope, trying to respect Taehyung's personal journey while managing the tsunami of emotional responses from millions of fans. Analysts pointed out that such a prolonged absence could reshape BTS's dynamic permanently. Industry experts noted that while temporary breaks are common, the language Hybe used, extended absence, carried unusual weight. Absence, however, isn't just about physical distance. It symbolizes something more profound: the shift of an artist who has outgrown one world and is ready to build another. But this transition seemed to come with personal costs. People close to the group said that Jungkook had been unusually quiet lately, spending long hours in the studio, pouring himself into music that felt different, heavier and more raw than before. Sources claimed that Jungkook's upcoming solo project, while originally upbeat, took a sudden melancholic turn after the news of Taehyung's departure surfaced. "You can feel the pain in his voice," one producer revealed anonymously. "It's not just about love or heartbreak. It's about letting go of someone who's always been by your side." What is striking is how much this story mirrors the evolution of BTS itself. A journey built on resilience, unity, and the bittersweet art of change. The members have always emphasized that their connection goes beyond music. Yet, with Taehyung preparing to leave for an indefinite period, fans began to question what the group's future truly holds. Will they reunite as 7 again? Or is this the first quiet step toward an era where BTS becomes something new? Something more fragmented, yet still beautiful? Hybe's internal dynamics also became a topic of heated debate. Insiders pointed to tensions between artistic freedom and corporate expectations. Taehyung, known for his independent spirit, had reportedly clashed with management over creative direction. According to leaked emails, he had long requested a personal sabbatical to pursue visual arts and film scoring, areas Hybe initially resisted due to contractual obligations. The eventual approval, which came after months of negotiation, was said to be bittersweet. One source described it as a win for Tae, but a loss for everyone emotionally. For Jungkook, the emotional toll was visible. During a recent live stream, fans noticed his tone shift when someone mentioned Tae's name. His usual bright smile faded, and after a brief silence he said softly, "Sometimes people you love need to find themselves, and all you can do is cheer for them, even when it hurts." That single sentence resonated like a confession, a glimpse into the quiet heartbreak behind the cameras. But what made this moment especially poignant was the uncertainty surrounding Taehyung's destination. Hybe refused to disclose where he was heading, only describing it as a location far from public life. This fueled speculation that Tae might be preparing for a major artistic collaboration abroad, possibly in Europe or the US. Others suggested he could be immersing himself in a long-term study of art and culture, something he had hinted at during past interviews. "I want to understand life from a different lens. Music is one way, but there are many other ways to speak to the soul." Such statements, once seen as poetic musings, now read like quiet warnings of an impending departure. Fans revisited old interviews, decoding every word, every gesture, every subtle foreshadowing. One clip from years ago where Taehyung told Jungkook, "If someday I leave for a while, promise me you'll still sing like it's for both of us," resurfaced and went viral. It's haunting now, not just for what was said, but for what it might have meant. Industry critics began to speculate that Hybe's carefully worded announcement was part of a broader shift in strategy. With BTS members pursuing solo ventures, the company appeared to be transitioning toward an era of individualized branding. Yet even within that professional context, Taehyung's departure felt unusually emotional, almost spiritual. What of Jungkook? For someone whose artistic partnership with Taehyung has inspired some of BTS's most intimate performances, the emotional weight is unimaginable. Friends described how he's been revisiting old recordings, unreleased duets, studio clips, and videos from their early trainee days. "It's like he's holding on to every memory," one insider shared. He's proud of Taehyung, but he's also scared. Scared that things will never be the same. Taehyung's fans, on the other hand, are torn between pride and sorrow. Many believe this is a necessary step for his personal growth, a chance to evolve beyond the confines of global superstardom. Yet the emotional ache of watching him step away, especially after all these years together, remains overwhelming. The uncertainty surrounding his return date only deepens the ache. One fan wrote, "He taught us that beauty lies in impermanence. Maybe this is his way of proving it." In the wake of all the noise, one truth slowly began to surface. Much of what the public had been led to believe was simply not true. The story that Taehyung was leaving for a long time, and that Jungkook had broken down in tears, was, as it turns out, a product of speculation, exaggeration, and the unrelenting machinery of rumor that thrives in the digital age. When Hybe finally released a detailed clarification, the narrative shifted entirely. Their official statement dismantled weeks of viral panic. There are no plans for Taehyung to leave or take an indefinite hiatus. He is currently working on new projects and exploring diverse creative opportunities under Hybe's full support. It was the moment that silenced millions of worried hearts. The supposed cryptic announcement that had sent fans spiraling was nothing more than a misunderstood translation of a production briefing. Hybe's use of the phrase extended creative activity, originally meant to describe Tae's preparation for an international collaboration, had been mistranslated and amplified by speculative news outlets. Within hours, tabloids had turned it into a story of separation, tears, and heartbreak. And once the narrative caught fire, it spread uncontrollably across platforms that thrive on emotional chaos. The truth is that Taehyung's upcoming work involves an ambitious artistic partnership with global visual artists, one that requires travel and long production schedules. But contrary to the viral claims, he is not disappearing from public life or leaving BTS behind. Instead, he is expanding his creative universe, something that aligns perfectly with BTS's long-stated goal of allowing each member to explore personal growth while maintaining unity as a group. As for Jungkook, There was never a public or private breakdown as described in rumor threads. Sources close to him confirmed that while he is indeed emotional and deeply supportive of Taehyung's endeavors, the image of him crying backstage or struggling to record was entirely fabricated. One staff member described it succinctly: "People forget that emotions can be genuine without becoming tragedy. Jungkook is proud, not broken." This revelation reignited broader conversations about the ethics of digital media and fan culture. In a world where information travels faster than truth, even the smallest misunderstanding can mutate into global panic. The incident also highlighted the immense emotional bond between artists and their audience, a bond so powerful that even the whisper of separation can feel like heartbreak. Hybe's communications team acknowledged this emotional depth in their follow-up note. "We understand that fans care deeply about every detail. We ask for continued trust as our artists pursue diverse creative journeys." The aftermath of the false report left many fans reflective rather than angry. Instead of turning against the media, thousands of armies used the moment to discuss how rumors are born and how easy it is to believe them when the subjects are people you love. One fan wrote, "We were so afraid of losing him that we didn't wait to listen. Fear made us believe what wasn't real." The post resonated widely, serving as both an apology and a lesson. The incident became more than a rumor. It became a mirror reflecting how emotion can overpower logic in a fandom that cares too much. The beauty of BTS's connection with ARMY has always been its sincerity. But sincerity without patience can lead to chaos. What started as panic ended as perspective, a reminder that even in the storm of speculation, truth has its quiet way of returning. Hybe Tae and Jungkook have since moved forward gracefully. In a subtle but powerful moment, Jungkook posted a short message on Weverse. "Don't worry, we're still here. Always." Taehyung followed with his own words. "Every path I take with love. Don't mistake silence for goodbye." And with that, the storm began to fade. What remains is a deeper understanding that rumors may shake faith for a moment, but real connection built on honesty and trust always endures. In the world of BTS, nothing truly ends. It only transforms.